if you're planning to come to Canada, maybe for study, for work, as a permanent resident, you may have heard of, the recent trend about, oh, the cost of living is really high. Yeah, it is very true, especially accommodation. If you're new to Canada, and what are some of the things that you can do? At least I can share from experience, some of the things that can help you. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean you shouldn't plan your coming to Canada, but when you have some of these things in mind, it helps you to prepare your landing safely, and then being able to adjust with the increased cost of living. So I have about 10 points that I want to just talk about it that may help you. The first thing is to actually try to work on the budget. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that you must be on the pen and paper to write every single thing down, but if there is something that you want to get, and if you look at your income for that month, it can't get that thing, you can move it to next month. Okay, so don't say, oh, I'm in Canada, I must get it now. Okay, and then you go and use your credit card because you feel like, well, I have credit card, I can just buy it now, and then anytime money comes, I can pay it back. Okay, those are some of the things you should also avoid to put you in debt. Spend money that you have. It will really save you of stress. Okay, the second thing that you can also do is at least try to get a part-time job as soon as possible. Okay, as soon as you land, you settle down with your classes, try to find a part-time job. Okay, yeah, jobs in mall, in grocery stores. Those are the most common jobs that people, maybe in warehouses as well. So you can actually get some of those work. And it is difficult to get high-paying part-time jobs, but if you see one, then that will also be a good option. Then the third thing is looking for a cheap accommodation. Okay, usually basements are kind of less expensive compared to the upper floors. Okay, so these are just ways that you can use to save money. Okay, so if you want to get a basement, it's going to be less expensive for you. Okay, there are some houses maybe at the top floor that are also a bit less expensive, particularly depends on the location, right? For apartments that are really very close to school, majority of them are generally more expensive. Okay, because they actually try to build those ones specifically for students. So yeah, they are more expensive because if you don't pick it, another person is willing to pick it. So if you can get an accommodation that is like maybe 30 minutes 35 minutes from the university, that would be good. At least you'll be able to get something less, compared to when you're very close to campus. But before you do that, make sure you get at least, check the bus route to that place, so that you don't, especially during the winter, right? You don't want to be walking like 10 minutes before you get to your bus stop. At least 7 minutes, 7 minutes, it's very reasonable. Okay. And the fourth thing is actually, if you can cook from at home, and then if you're a student and you take lunch to work, that can save you some money. The thing is, you may actually not see this as a big deal. When I remember when I just came to Canada, I saw people bringing in lunch. They cook from home and bring out, be like, what are these people doing? Can they just go to the university center and buy something? So I tried that for a week, and then when I calculated how much I spent, and then I asked my friend, like how are you doing? It was like, oh, I just bring food from home, and then that saves me a whole lot of money. So if you can't do that, that would really be helpful, because eating out is very expensive. You may not see it because it's $7, $8. Now you're buying burgers every day, right? So you might see that it is not very expensive, but it is actually expensive. For people that have the money, or if you have the money, you want to eat burger morning, afternoon, evening, and eat food all the time outside, it's okay. You have the money to do that. But if you're really trying to cut cost, this is one of the things that you can also do. The fifth thing is actually shop smart. Okay, depends on the particular city where you are. Look for the at least the grocery stores where the price is a bit moderate. Okay, because there are some, I'm not going to be mentioning names, so you do your own research, right? There are some that are actually more expensive than others. Okay, so definitely check them out wherever you are, and then you compare prices. So if you go to one of the grocery store today, go to the next one, by the time you go, around, you will be able to know which of them is more affordable. Okay, then you can go there. By the time you finish school, you have plenty of money, you can be shopping at the most expensive grocery store. It doesn't concern anybody at that time, but it just means advising you. The sixth thing is learn to say no to a lot of things. Okay, sometimes you don't already have money, and then you go to a grocery store, and then somebody is pushing and say, "Oh, get this credit card. It's going to help you," and you're just packing debts, right? You're just packing debts up and down because you now have three credit cards with like $2,000 each or 1,500. Mind you have about $4,000. You can start spending anyhow. So in fact, as a student, anything more than one, maybe maximum two. It's one is okay if you want to get two. It's reasonable, but don't get as many credit cards because you're going to get credit cards everywhere. If you go to any grocery stores, they have their. If you go to any grocery store, right? They have their own credit card. If you want to, most places where you feel gases and all other things, they all have credit cards. So you must not get it. Okay, you must just tell them no. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want for now, but don't be rude. Okay, because that's actually the business that they are doing. So just try as much as possible to don't insult anybody by that. Okay, the seventh thing I would say is seek financial advice. Okay, it doesn't mean you have to go meet someone. You can check out some things online. Okay, you can equip yourself with financial knowledge. It's really going to help you. For example, you need to know how credit card works, so you don't put yourself in unnecessary debt and then go have a lot of interest and other things. It's just going to eat into some of the little savings that you have. So if you see someone that is trusted, that you can explain your financial situation to that person, and then they can advise you. Okay, make sure it's somebody that know exactly what they're doing. They will be able to advise you in that thing. And then the eighth thing that you can also do is if you can get a student aid or maybe some form of scholarship. Even though you are at the college, there are no full scholarships available, but some financial aid like $500, $200, $350, $1,000. You can see some pockets of financial aid or scholarships, here and there. You can definitely apply. Okay, that will actually be able to sort out some of your expenses. The ninth thing is if you can use a food bank. Okay, with a food bank you can actually get free food. Okay, in most of the universities in Canada, they have a campus food bank. Okay, so you can actually visit the food bank and then check out some of the few things that they have used it in the past. Okay, so you can get some really nice stuffs over there, and that can really save you some money. So definitely try that. The last thing is going to be try to pay your bills on time. The reason is because if you don't pay your bills on time, number one thing is that you're going to get your credit score is going to get reduced, and most importantly, is it even important or unfortunately, if you do that, you don't pay your bills on time, especially clearing your credit cards, you're going to have higher interest rates on your credit cards. Okay, and you discover that it's the money you would have been saving, you're not using it to clear debts. Okay, so it's going to actually make it more difficult. There are a lot of other things that you can do when you arrive in Canada, or if you're already in Canada, at least there might be other things that work for you. But these are some of the things that I've learned over the years that have helped me to be able to at least save some money. Okay, so that's going to be it for this video. If you found this content useful, why don't you consider smashing that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, do well to subscribe so that whenever new videos are released, you will be the first person to get notified. Once again, thank you for watching my video. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.